Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm your host, Winnie.
I am your host, Shane.
And today we are continuing our article, Dancing for Rain in Africa, Part 2. Speaking of which, Shane?
Yes.
Are you a dancer?
Am I a dancer? No, I am absolutely not a dancer. I mean, I could go to a dance club and look normal.
Okay.
No one's going to be like...
No one can pick you out from the crowd in a bad way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I can hold my
Rhythm.
own.
You can hold a beat.
Yeah, but I'm not like, the person people are like, wow, that guy can dance. Because I'm not really good at dancing.
Okay.
But I can move my body.
Okay. That's good.
And when I was young, I used to break dance. Break dancing is like, you do all this kind of stuff. And,
get it.
And you spin around on your back. And
Did you do that?
Oh, I could do all of that stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I used to break dance when I was really young.
Yeah.
I'm just okay. How about you?
Oh, I started dancing in high school and then all throughout college because I used to do musical theater. But then I got injured, so now I can't really dance anymore. But you know what I do like is I do like watching people dance.
Okay.
So think today, after this article, I might be doing some YouTubing and searching for all of these rain dances that are happening in Africa because it's kind of piquing my interest.
Yeah, I think they are cool to watch. I've seen them before, like on nature shows and things like that. And yeah, it has a lot of cultural, we'll say like cultural uniqueness or coolness.
Yes.
It's very cool. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, let's see what today has to offer.
Okay.
Rain dances aren't shows for people to watch and enjoy. During the dances, the dancers pray for rain. They need it for their plants, animals, and lives. At the same time, they give their thanks to the gods and nature.
Okay, so welcome back. We have Dancing for Rain in Africa, Part 2. And in part 1, we learned all about, Africans dancing for rain, doing these rain dances, to their gods or to nature. Because basically they are just praying for rain.
Right.
They want rain to come down and give them, it's basically life blood is water.
Because rain is very important.
Yeah.
And sometimes in these places, you're not always going to get rain.
All right, let's learn more about these rain dances.
Right. So rain dances aren't shows for people to watch and enjoy. So usually, like we were talking about in the intro, a lot of times you're watching dances because you're enjoying it. It's a form of entertainment. It's like a show. Yeah. But in these cultures, it's actually very sacred. It's very important.
It's very serious.
And it can be very private because these are religious practices and these are rituals that are very important to these people. It's a closed practice. So for them, when they need rain, it's not for enjoyment. It is actually probably in a time where they're in serious need for rain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very serious time. During the dances, the dancers pray for rain.
Right.
So like I said, this is kind of like a religious ceremony, and if people were just like watching and being like, wow, look how cool that is. It might be
a little bit not so nice to the gods.
Yeah, it probably would ruin things. They would probably be very angry at you and tell you to leave because we don't need you here during our dances.
Right.
So during is a preposition. During means something happens at the same time as something else.
Right.
So for example, we were quiet during the movie.
And as you were saying, if there were people watching the rain dances and they were, like you were saying, reacting in a way that's very kind of drawing attention to it, it is a little bit rude to the people who are trying to help their community by doing this rain dance.
Not only rude, they might, like hurt
Anger
you
the
or
gods.
put you in jail or something.
Ooh, okay. Well, let's go see what Tina has to say.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。During 介系词，在什么期间 ？Many people sleep during the flight. 很多人在飞机飞行期间睡觉。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚课文提到了 pray for 祈求 ，pray 在这里是不及物动词，意思是祈祷、祈求。我们来看看这个例句。Justin prayed for good luck before the test. Justin 在考试前祈求好运。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thank you, Tina. Continuing on with the article, they need it for their plants, animals, and lives. And of course, when we say they, we're talking about the people needing the rain. It's not just for drinking. It's not just, oh, it's so hot, I need to cool off with some rain. They actually need it to survive. They need it to water their plants so that they can have, corn and things like that. And they also need it for the animals that they're raising because they need something to drink. And lives, everyone needs to drink some water. I'm sorry, you can't just have soy milk, Shane.
Actually, I can't.
You can't.
There's plenty of water in soy milk, okay?
And of course, when we're talking about plant, we are using it as a noun. It is a natural living thing grown from the earth. These could be vegetables, these could be fruits, these could be flowers. We could also use plant as a verb to plant something. Usually mom or dad has a beautiful garden. They want some nice roses. They don't just appear there. Sorry to disappoint you. You actually have to plant the specific rose seed in order to get the rose.
Well, I just go to the nursery and I buy one that's already grown.
Yeah, you can replant that.
Or just leave it in the container that they give you.
Hey, you've got a better green thumb than me, though. So.
I've got some plants at home. Okay, so at the same time, they give their thanks to the gods and nature. So while they're doing this and they're praying for rain, they're also thanking the gods and thanking nature, just in general.
Right. So because you can't just ask, and
yeah, you need to thank them for other stuff. Like, you do a lot for us. We really appreciate it. But, a little rain wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that's true.
If you can hook us up.
Right, exactly. Well, let's go to Tina.
Okay.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 plant 名词植物 My mom likes to grow plants in the garden 我妈妈喜欢在花园里种植物文法的部分刚刚提到了 A gives thanks to B A 向 B 致谢 Thanks 指的是感谢谢意横为复数前面可以加上所有格来加强语气我们来看看这个例句Larry gave his thanks to his team for their support. Larry 对他团队的支持表示感谢。接着我们回到课文当中。
Thank you, Tina. So as we learned in this part, if you need some rain, it's not going to come for free.
Yeah, it's serious.
It's serious.
To joke about. It's not something where, you can...
It's not something you can sell tickets to.
Yeah, right. And, for people like you and me, if we saw people doing an African rain dance or a rain dance.
Give them their privacy.
Maybe not even an African one, but any rain dance.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go and oh, wow.
Take photos.
Yeah, it would probably upset them because this is very sacred and very serious.
Right. Well, let's go to the second part of the article and we'll be right back.
Okay.
They show their respect to the gods and nature too. Without them, there would be no water and no life. Rain dances bring people together, and they make their connections stronger. They also help the cultures stay alive. African rain dances give people hope and power.
Welcome back from the break. Before the break, we learned about some very respectful rules that you should follow. A being, if you see a rain dance, don't just stop and look. Move on. Keep it going.
Keep it going.
Right.
Let them do their dance. Yeah. This is some serious stuff here.
Right, exactly. And sorry, B, it's also for the people doing the rain dance to show their gratitude for their gods. They're not just asking for rain, they're also showing appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, for the plants and for the animals and for life, just their own lives too. That's why they need the water. Okay, let's continue. They showed their respect to the gods and nature too.
Right. So this kind of goes on to what we were talking about, how, you can't just ask the gods for something and not show your respect for them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so this goes back to what we're saying. It's a serious thing. This is like a religious ceremony, and they're really serious in showing their respect to gods and to nature. And nature in many cultures is basically like a god today.
It's kind of one and the same.
Yeah, they're pretty similar to each other, right? So we have this vocabulary word respect, which is a noun. Respect means being nice and kind to others. So for example, we show respect by listening when someone is talking.
Right. So you can also use respect as a verb. I respect you, Shane. That means I hold him in a really high regard. I think really great things about him, and I wouldn't say bad things about you, just like these people wouldn't say bad things about their gods.
Yeah.
So continuing on, without them, there would be no water and no life. And when they say without them, they're talking about gods or nature. So without the gods and the nature, they wouldn't even have rain. They wouldn't have, animals. They think it's they are only alive because of their gods.
Yeah, right. And really, if, they do have this belief system, it really comes down to making these gods happy,
Sure,
and that's how you're going to get rain. That's how you're going to get food. That's how you're going to get good things happening. So these rituals and these dances and stuff are super important.
Right.
Without them, there's no water, there's no life, there's no
Good point.
there's no nothing.
Yeah, so without them, we're talking about this preposition without. It means if you don't have something. So if you don't have these gods, then you're not going to have, life. And they really value both of those things together. So without those gods, they think, well, there's just no point of life. Let's go to Tina.
Okay.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 respect 名词敬意敬重 Jason showed respect to the old man Jason 向那位老人表示敬意 without 介系词少了没有什么 The plant cannot grow without sunlight 这种植物没有阳光就无法生长 Sunlight 指的就是阳光接着我们回到课文当中
Thank you, Tina. So continuing on with the article, rain dances bring people together and they make their connections stronger. So as we've been saying throughout these 2 days of this article, the most important thing about this rain dance is a sense of community because, these leaders that we were talking about in part 1, they bring the community together because maybe you have your rain dance crew, the specific people that are doing the rain dance. Right. But what makes the energy more powerful is probably the sense of community, the support of all of the people in the...
Imagine you have the dancers, but you probably also on the side have the people playing the drums, making some other kind of music, maybe singing along. Right. They're kind of like supporting the dancers. So probably the whole community gets involved, not just the rain dancers.
Right. Well, because if you think about it, the rain's not just for the dancers. It's for the whole community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They also help the culture stay alive. African rain dances give people hope and power.
Right. And it's nice to see that in this day and age, in our modern era. It's all about technology and it's all about this and that. But, these dances are what really still make rich culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And culture does gives you hope,
That's true.
Having a sense of culture, having beliefs, they give you hope and they give you a sense of power, like that you have some ability to change things by maybe praying to your God or doing some kind of rituals, you have the power to change what is happening around you.
Well said.
For example, if there's no rain, you have power to make it rain by doing one of these ceremonies or rituals. Now, power means being strong or able to make things happen. So here what they're making happen is making it rain, right? For example, you could also say the king has power to make big rules.
Right. So usually when we're saying power, we're talking about maybe electricity or energy. But in this case, this is a different type of leadership power, as we were saying.
Inner power.
Oh, yes. All right. So let's go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 power 名词力量 Everyone has the power to face their fears 每个人都有力量面对恐惧文法的部分刚刚提到了 stay alive 延续下去 stay 指的是维持保持某种状态 alive 是形容词意思是存在着的我们来看看这个例句We must support local art to help it stay alive. 我们必须支持在地艺术，使其能延续下去。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thank you, Tina. I will say, Shane, I am very impressed by this article because this is a great sort of spotlight on something that isn't really talked about a lot. And I think we were talking about how we kind of take our rain for granted.
Yeah, we take our rain for granted, especially in places where it rains a lot. And we also kind of think that, I thought before that these kind of rain dances and stuff, I didn't really think about how serious they are and how important they are. I just thought of them as really cool looking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but you need to show your respect.
Yeah, well, that was a great article. For the next article, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But for today, that's all we got.
All right, well, let's review that article again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Rain dances aren't shows for people to watch and enjoy. During the dances, the dancers pray for rain. They need it for their plants, animals, and lives. At the same time, they give their thanks to the gods and nature. They show their respect to the gods and nature too. Without them, there would be no water and no life. Rain dances bring people together, and they make their connections stronger. They also help the cultures stay alive. African rain dances give people hope and power.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 during 介系词在什么期间 plant 名词植物 respect 名词敬意敬重 without 介系词少了没有什么 power 名词力量接着我们来看文法的部分 pray for 祈求 Carly prayed for her husband's safety Carly 祈求她先生的平安 A gives thanks to B A 向 B 致谢 Tom gave his thanks to his team for their support Tom 对他团队的支持表示感谢 Stay alive 延续下去 Some businesses aren't able to stay alive for very long 某些产业没有多久就没落了以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法那我们下一课再见咯拜拜
Are you a history buff and want to learn more about Chiayi City's past? Well, today's location is the perfect place for you to visit. It's the Chiayi City Historical Relic Museum. Just in case you aren't familiar with the word relic, it means an object surviving from an earlier time, especially one of historical interest. Let's find out more about this museum. The Chiayi City Historical Relic Museum is located in Chiayi Park. It is listed as a municipal historic site. This museum has two buildings, the Saikan and Shamusho, or the Fasting House and Administrative Office. These two buildings were initially built in 1943 for the affiliates of the nearby Kagi Shrine. The Saikan was a place for fasting and the preparation of worship rites. The Shamusho was an office for the administration of shrines. Nowadays, the Saikan has become a multi-function recreational area. Visitors can rent kimonos and read books about Chiayi. In addition, they provide food and beverage services. The Samusho is a venue for permanent and special exhibitions. Each tatami room showcases different aspects of Chiayi. They include Chiayi's forestry, maintenance of old buildings, urban development, Alisan Railway, and many more. The resting room is a place for worshippers to congregate and prepare for worship. The Temizuya is a place where worshippers clean their hands and mouths before entering the shrine. The Saikiko is a small concrete building that stores worship equipment. The Komainu are statue pairs of lion-like creatures that guard the entrance of the shrine and ward off evil spirits. The first generation Kagi shrine consists of two preserved relics, the stone-based altar and the base of the pillars, both of which were built in 1915. At the Chiayi City Historical Relic Museum, you can not only gain knowledge about Chiayi, but also learn about Japanese culture. Precious assets like the Chiayi City Historical Relic Museum must be preserved for generations to come. In my opinion, the best way to get an in-depth understanding of a place is to learn about its history first. So, what are you waiting for? Make sure to visit the Chiayi City Historical Relic Museum.